Welcome to Worship Leader Hangout. My name's Chad Buckland, and today I'm going to show you guys how to take something like this little cheap ping pong ball and other materials to make really inexpensive stage designs that look amazing. I think you're going to like this. Keep watching. Okay, behind me you see the stage design that we just made at my church this past year, at the beginning of the year. We used a material called corrugated plastic. It's a really inexpensive plastic material that's similar to cardboard. I'm going to show you a piece up close so you know what I'm talking about. But what's great about this material is you can cut it in just about any shape that you want, basically. Just limited to maybe the fine details. But if you want to do big shapes like these back here, it's extremely easy to do. You can do curves or whatever, but it's extremely easy, but it's also really cheap too. I think a sheet 4x8 is usually around $20, depending on where you get it, what kind of supplier you use. I think you can get it at like a Home Depot or a Lowe's. It may be a little more expensive, so shop around. Maybe there's some material suppliers nearby you that you can get this stuff at, but it's really great. So I'm going to show you what this stuff looks like up close. Also, before I do that, you can use, just because I had it out, we had it under the stage, and I took a piece of that off. I'll show you what that looks like too. All right, so here is the corrugated plastic. Like I said, this is just a piece up close, obviously. But you can see it's a lot like cardboard. It's really thin. It's extremely lightweight, and you can do just about anything with it. It is a plastic. You can staple straight through it just like we did here. And with this stage design, we ordered 10 pieces and we used just about all of it. And I stapled it to a frame that we made, just made out of cheap wood from Lowe's, painted it black, and there it is. It's hanging from a very, very simple bar truss that we have up there. It's just a couple long pieces of wood and plastic. I'm telling you, this stuff is really cheap, and you can do this at your church. Don't think you have to have the most expensive lighting, the most expensive whatever. You can do this. I know when we started out on this project, I did plan it all out. I knew exactly how many pieces I needed. I measured, and that's really important when you do this, is to know your worship space and know what your trusses can handle. Basically, do your research, do your homework, so you know what you're getting yourself into, so you don't buy a bunch of materials and not be able to do it. Believe it or not, this entire stage design, which I'll walk out here so you can see the whole thing, was only like $400 total. We did have to rent a lift. We don't own one here at this church, but there it is. But what I was saying is, we did have to rent a lift. That was another $400 or so. But for less than $1,000, we were able to do this, and it's really with using cheap materials. It doesn't cost hardly anything to do something like this. Now remember, the sky's the limit. If you need ideas, just get on the internet. If you want to know how I did this exactly, I can send it to you. Just message me in the comments below. I'll be glad to tell you. But check this out. A few years ago, they made one before I was here, and they used ping pong balls, or they're kind of like ping pong balls. They're really cheap. So the guy glued with hot glue all the ping pong balls to a blackboard, like a pegboard or something like that. And when you take this to the light, and I'll show you just with the one I'm holding, the ball itself takes on the color because it's a thin plastic, just like the corrugated plastic of our new design. So if you're looking for materials, a white plastic is going to be probably your best bet. So when this hit the light, these lit up almost as if they were little light bulbs. So you can see, that could look cool done right on the stage with the right lighting. And like I said, you don't have to have the best lighting. You don't have to have a bunch of movers. You don't even have to have color LEDs. I mean, you can just have can lights that you put gels in. I mean, I don't know what your situation is, but it can be done just about anywhere. All right, so check this out. Once the blue light hits it, it really can make these look like they are lights themselves. So they will pretty much reflect any color back very vividly. So to give you a little more detail on this design itself, I have a lot of lights on it. These are just very simple color changing LEDs, red, green, and blue. Mix colors together, make whatever colors you want. Most of you guys are going to know what I'm talking about. Basically, we just strategically shine the light where we think we're going to get the best glow. This bottom here, what I had to do because of my limited space, I do have 2 LEDs down here. I just lined them up as best as I could and spent some time on that to see which would get the best throw and how the design would take the color. I could bring one out, maybe more in this region if I wanted to, and shine it on the bottom to get one solid color across there, but I wanted to be able to have multiple colors across the stage, and I'll show you a design where we did that in just a minute. But that's really it. As far as the design itself goes, I knew that I wanted a 10 feet spread here, and I made sure that the furthest one out, I'll show you that, the furthest ones out were 10 feet from there to there, if you know what I'm talking about in there. So I wanted a 10 feet spread there, I wanted an 8 foot spread there. So what I did was I used 6 foot slats here and 8 foot slats there. There are 13, I believe. I'll let you count. And there is one less on this side as far as how many slats there are going up or down. And I'll let you figure that out. But so there's really not an exact formula as far as how we did this. We just knew how many we needed to get the spacing we wanted, and that's about it. So this is the back side, as you can see, and all I did was we took 1x2, whatever size boards, I think they're 1x2s, and just made a frame. See if I can back out of here. We just made a very simple frame, just big enough for the slats to attach to, but not be seen other than maybe in between the spaces here. That's why we painted it black, go against the black and blue background, and you can't even see it hardly. So as far as these cross beams, I tried to work it out when there's a beam right there. I tried to work it out when I stapled the slat over that beam, the positioning of the slats. I tried to work it out to where you wouldn't see that, and pretty much was able to make that happen on all of them. And if you want to, and we don't, at least not currently, you can see how you can see the light very well from behind. It's not going to be as bright, but that LED, you can see that it's on the other side. You can see a lot of that color on this side. It's not, like I said, it's not going to be as bright, but if you want to backlight it, you can, but you would probably see the frame sticking through. On these longer ones, these are 16 foot frames, and I have a couple cross beams to just hold it steady. So up top, what I did to hang it from the single bar truss, I drilled a hole just about 1.5 inches in and put a cable, a steel cable, coated steel cable through, and hung it, just attached the cable together and hung it from the beam, and then taped it off at the top. I'm going to try to zoom in. And that's what it looked like. Extremely simple, very cheap. Like I said, this entire design was roughly $400. So as far as this material goes, like I said, it was around $10 each, and we did 4x8s. I think this is a 3x10. I got this from a friend, but it's the same material, and you can, like I said before, you can make any shape you want out of it. I know one year we did squares. For winter one year we did a bunch of snowflake designs. The thing about this stuff though is it's all up to you and your creative mind. I mean, you don't have to do anything like this. You can do something much more simple. You can do something much more complex. It's up to you. But let me know if you have any questions about it, or you want to know exactly how we did this, you want to pull something off like this at your church. I'd be glad to help you. But remember, it can be done, and it can be done at your church. It's super simple. I know you see a lot of the things you see online at other churches, maybe even churches with a lot of lighting, with a big budget. A lot of that stuff actually is really cheap, and you may not realize that. Of course, the lighting is really expensive. The movers themselves and all the fixtures, they're just extremely expensive. Or they can be, but just use what you have and use it to its fullest ability. I mean, that's the main thing. Never underestimate what you have. You know, God's put you there for a reason. He's put your creative mind there, and like I said, just use that and go and create something amazing that people are just going to love to look at. Will this make a difference in your worship experience? I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know. I mean, no, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna, because you have something like this, it's not gonna make the presence of God want to be in your place more because it looks cooler than another church down the road. It's not about that. But it is about using our creativity to make something really pretty and stand out and just make it a good experience for our congregation. But just have fun with it. If you have any questions about this design or anything else, I'd be glad to help. Just leave it in the comments below. Again, you can make a design at your church. It's not hard. It can be extremely inexpensive, and you don't have to have the latest and greatest technology and lighting or whatever. You can use what you have and make something look really cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. And be sure to subscribe so that way you know when more content comes out. Otherwise, have a great day. And remember, great worship leaders are always learning.